Scarpins Avenue.
Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Sklar Country, the virus edition, aka the Pandy Pods.
AKA two brothers, no druthers.
AKA two pods that are pandy along with Jason and Randy.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
I kind of did it. I slid through it. AKA
brothers and friends, but the
fun never ends.
yeah. Or the
All right.
means don't justify the ends.
That's
I don't
right.
know.
The means
Maybe that's
don't
it,
justify the ends.
That's something we get into on
That's
this
a
show.
good thing. All right, guys, we're here to give you guys a little break in your day, whatever that may be. The morning walk, your coffee before you get into the things that you do. If you're in a routine, it's the thing that helps you. If you're driving somewhere, if you're driving to go to work at a hospital, this is the thing that gets you to face the day that you have. We're here to help you out.
That's right. And we're here to break down some dumb behavior, and people acting a fool a little bit in this pandemic, and it's happening.
It is
we
really
see
happening.
it all the time, don't
Here's
we?
my question, and I just ask this all the time. I'm like, why can't people do the right thing?
I wonder that. I'm like, are you trying to do the wrong thing? Or are you just so dumb that you don't know what the right thing is?
So I'm watching. People ask us all the time, what should I be watching? What have you guys binged during this pandemic? And
Yeah.
I started binging Search Party because our friend Michael Showalter, one of the creators of that, he was, Showalter played Ron Parker in Cheap Seats Without Ron Parker.
Correct.
He was on our show Apartment 2F.
Didn't he direct a lot of search parties, or did he not?
Yeah, he directed some,
Right.
but he helped create it, executive producer on the show. It's so good. But what's a consistent theme on that show is that so many times good people make bad decisions.
Yep.
And it just happens over and over again, and it just hits you in the gut. Like, can't you just make a good? No, don't do that. Even when something good happens, it's like
Wow.
So I've been watching that and kind of watching that with an eye to the pandemic and saying to myself, this happens all the time. This is happening all the time. Even when something good happens to you, someone's got to do something dumb to negate the good that happened to you.
That's right.
It's Shakespearean, I think, actually.
So stupid.
And maybe it's because we understand how fleeting life can be right now.
Yes.
Because of the virus, that sometimes people are throwing caution to the wind and going for broke because they're like, I might not be here tomorrow, so why don't I go for it?
Yes.
But I can buy that excuse for crazy behavior, but it certainly doesn't excuse the crazy behavior. It's an excuse for crazy behavior.
That's right.
It doesn't excuse it.
Right. It explains it. It doesn't excuse it.
All right, let's get into this story because this is nuts.
Okay.
All right. An impoverished fisherman, say that 5 times fast, who found a rare orange mellow pearl worth 250,000 pounds in Thailand has been arrested after celebrating his new fortune by allegedly throwing a meth party for his pals.
So are there a lot of really wealthy fishermen, and this guy is just the exception to the rule? Or
You're saying he's like there are a lot of wealthy fishermen, he's an impoverished
this guy's just not
fisherman.
good at it. Like, no. I think when you choose to do a life of fishing as your life, you're saying to yourself, I don't need tons of wealth. I
just want to be out on the water. I don't want someone telling me what to do.
What's that old story? The guy who's like, the guy who's like a millionaire or a billionaire who
he goes
on
down to
vacation. He goes down to Mexico, goes out on a boat with a guy, a fishing boat, and then they find this spot and they just start catching tons and tons of fish. And he's like, oh my God, this is the best day I've ever had.
And the guy's like, I'll take you to a different spot tomorrow. We'll catch even more. He takes him back tomorrow. The next day,
they catch even more. And he says, okay, here's what we got to do. I'm telling you right now, we're going to get a fleet of ships. We're going to, little ships, boats like
fishing
this,
boats.
And we'll just fish this area, and we can make you tens of thousands of dollars, and then
just hundreds of thousands of dollars.
You'll be a millionaire. And he's like,
and then
we can get more, and then you're just managing. You don't even have to go out and fish anymore. You can just tell other people to go out and fish. And he's like,
and you'll make so much money in like 10 years.
You'll be able to retire
and do nothing and just hang out and fish. And it's like, that's what I'm doing right now.
So you're saying that I can make all this money and work super, super hard and manage other people doing this thing so that I can get to a point where I can retire and then go out and fish?
Yeah, that's what I'm doing right now.
What's the point?
Right.
Okay.
So I don't know. Maybe this guy sucks. Maybe he's awesome.
So he found a pearl that's worth 200, bless you, worth 250 pounds,
250,000 pounds. That's a lot of money.
It's an improbable gift. He got it. He has it.
It's incredible. So now in return, I'm going to
let me do something smart with it and throw a giant meth party.
Throw that meth party I've been waiting to throw. Now's the time.
I'm going to assume no one was wearing a mask at the meth party.
Listen, he was a fisherman. Fishermen and fisherwomen. Fishing is a socially distanced profession.
Yeah, people aren't like, hey, we got to get all these fishermen away from each other because they're all within 6 feet of each other. No.
If you're fishing and someone comes up and starts fishing 6 feet from you, you're like,
hey, get out of here. I was here
or
first.
they're going to kill me.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? That's a threat.
Or you're going to hook someone in the lip.
It's too intimate. So this dude was actually...
His job was smart. It was pandemic safe. It was in the right mode.
I'm going to say this. His job probably didn't change that much.
No.
From the beginning of the pandemic. You know what I mean? Like
he's outside.
He's fishing.
He's away from people.
Catching. People need fish.
People need fish.
People needed fish before the pandemic.
It's almost pandemic proof what he was doing.
That's right. So
he was like, let me see if I can just shake up the rest of my life in the worst way possible.
After something incredible happened to him. All right? Great call.
Yeah.
Hachai Niayo Dicha, 37, invited friends over to his home on Nikon Street, Thammarat, Thailand. Nikon Sai Thammarat, Thailand, on Friday after being offered 10 million baht,
which is 250,000 pounds
for the rare
probably
pearl.
about 200 and
about $300,000 probably.
Yeah.
I get it. You want to rage with your buddies, right, Jay?
But you can do that later
when the money's in the bank
for the pearl.
So police, he made so many mistakes during this party.
That's
okay,
right.
Police reportedly found thousands of oral methamphetamine tablets at the man's house. Well, that's not a good call.
Yeah,
you just found a rare pearl worth 250,000 pounds. What are you going to buy with that?
Tons of meth.
Yeah.
Hey, I think that's the only option.
It's your money. Okay, so I'm willing to go ahead with that and say, you do you.
I hate that phrase, you do you. But listen to me. If you're going to go out and get the meth, fine.
Just lay low.
Do it by yourself.
Lay low.
It's your money.
Maybe don't have a huge party that all the meth is just laying around.
See, we mentioned meth and cops drive by.
By the way, you found an orange pearl. You didn't find a cloak of invisibility. I love that this guy thinks that he's immune to the law.
Now that he's got the orange pearl, nothing can happen to him. Let me just get the meth, and the cops will understand. It's because I found an orange pearl.
So here's what the police came after being contacted by his neighbors who complained about the loud music and claimed that they could smell drugs. Now, can you smell meth?
I don't know.
Maybe if you smoke it.
They had a huge party. I'm guessing it was unmasked.
I'm sure it was unmasked. And then you wouldn't turn down the music. Like, you could have stopped this at so many points along the way.
Invite all your neighbors to this party.
Yes, to the meth party.
Please invite everyone so you can avoid the cops showing up.
Let me guess. You told everyone in your neighborhood you found the pearl. You showed it to everybody.
Of course you
People nobody's going to be jealous of you then.
Yeah,
nobody's going to want to send you to jail at that point because you're a braggart in that way. Make them find some way to bust your ass.
But there's something in me that's happy that the Thai police system works.
Right. So this is a good thing that they'll come to a noise violation. All right. So here comes more
cops.
Of this.
You talk about meth and it's just a nonstop,
flow of sirens. Sorry. We're sorry about that. The Thai fisherman made headlines around the world last week after he found a rare mellow pearl, one of the most expensive in the world, while picking up oysters on the shore near his house. While armed officers raided his property, 3 packages containing an unknown substance and thousands of tablets were allegedly discovered. Several meth pipes were also said to have been discovered in the house. Again, if you're going to have this stuff in your house, hide it. Yeah. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Or turn the music down, bro.
Do not. This is not the moment. I mean, I hate to say, act like you've been in there before.
He hasn't been there before.
He hasn't been in the end zone before. This is not the moment to blow the trumpet.
16,000 methamphetamine pieces of methamphetamine were found hidden near his family house. Yeah, they're going to look near your house too. Do you understand? This is your house.
If you have meth pipes on your you can't just have 16,000 pieces of meth sitting around.
Yeah.
Cannot.
He denied that the boxes were his, wasn't me. But when the police ran a forensic test on the packages, they allegedly found his fingerprints all over the box. Yeah, they have fingerprinting in Thailand. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just because you found the orange pearl doesn't mean that the cops are going to be like, well, we can't take this guy in.
That's right.
The law applies to you. Police Colonel Chokdi Smrinyang said they're investigating the fisherman over the unusual amount of drugs, also looking at the involvement of his family members who lived with him. Yeah, you just pulled everyone down with you.
Yeah.
He denied his drug allegations. He was taken to the police station and held in custody where he was questioned. How many times did he say, I will buy my way out of this?
Yeah, he thinks he can buy his way out.
Shaggy, definitely. Don't believe your lying eyes. The 37-year-old Thai fisherman was picking up shells with his family when they stumbled upon the rare find in Nakhon Sai, Thammarat province on January 27th. He found a discarded buoy. This is so interesting, ashore, with a number of shells, including 3 snail shells stuck to it, which he took home,
Right.
which his brother took home.
Right.
Then he called his wife, who's also 35 years old. 35, you should know how to do this. And his 2 boys to inspect the beautiful 7.68 gram precious gem with him, and they decided to check its value the next day.
And then he bought a ton of meth.
I'm assuming that's when you buy a ton of meth.
At what point do you say to your kids, Dad's going to use this to buy some meth?
I got to buy 16,000 pieces of meth. Don't touch it. Dad's got to buy 16,000 pieces of meth.
Do you wait an hour? How long do you wait? All right, let's take a break.
Take a break. When we come back, we're going to tell you the rest because I want to get into the idea of something like this being worth this much money because I don't get it. We'll talk about it on the other side of the break.
Hey, y'all, welcome back to the show. We want to thank everyone who's getting on board and buying tickets for the 27th, Jack Black, Open Mike Eagle, Live Dumb People Town. And then on March 20th, we're doing stand-up. Stand-up at Nowhere Comedy Club. Go to eventbrite.com, look up Sklar Brothers Live Stand-up. We just want to see you guys there. We want to keep doing shows for you in every way. Stereo app, we're doing shows Monday and Wednesday. This show, 3 p.m. Fridays, we're talking sports.
Sports on Friday, 3 p.m. and then 4 p.m. on Tuesdays, Dumb People Town. So join it. Follow us on the Stereo app. We'll let you know when we're doing live shows. We'd love to have as many of you participate in those as possible. You get to leave voicemails, and we get to answer you in person. It's really wonderful. Real time. Real talk.
Thai Fisherman finds
an unbelievably rare gigantic orange pearl worth 250,000 pounds. They asked about the pearl amongst his neighbors. So he showed his neighbors, how much do you think this is worth? I'm sure they weren't pissed about that.
You don't
Obviously, they weren't invited to his pearl meth party later, right?
So this is someone who no one explained to him, hey, keep that to yourself.
All right, who spotted the shells. He claimed he had a strange dream a few days beforehand finding the treasure. Was it a meth dream?
It could have.
Maybe. He said an old white man with a long mustache told me to come to the beach so I can receive a gift. I think he led me to finding the That could be your drug dealer, right? Old
or
white
Sam Elliott.
He said to you, keep this meth in your house and you can pay me for it when you cash in the pearl. That's what I'm guessing he said.
Maybe.
This is a point in time when I really think you need to ask yourself what is valuable. So here's what I don't understand. And this is like a real discussion, Jay. I really want to have this. I understand why a house in Malibu overlooking the ocean that's big and comfortable with a lot of space and beauty. I understand why that's valuable.
Having a lot of land.
Yes, you have a lot of land, you got a lot of space, you got a view of the ocean. I can understand why that is worth a lot of money. It's comfortable living, it's beautiful. I can understand why a really expensive car that drives really well, that is fast, that is comfortable, the stereo is good. I can understand why that would be worth a lot of money. I can understand how a piece of crap car is a piece of crap and not worth a lot of money versus something that's more expensive. I can understand that. I will never understand diamonds and pearls.
It's rarity, and it's what people are willing to pay for them. It's because there is.
You can't live in it. You can't ride in it.
I know,
but you can't wear. I guess you can wear it on your thing.
It's a sign of status. It's a sign, and it's something that.
But if they said, okay, you know the pyrite that you said is fool's gold that they find in the hills, and
turns out it's rarer than actual gold.
So now that becomes the most expensive thing in the world is pyrite that people have, and gold is way less expensive than that. This is like GameStop. I'm saying,
yes,
how crazy. We don't determine this. Someone else determines what is valuable and what isn't. And so this pearl, which this guy just randomly found this pearl, yes, it's expensive, but like, should it change his life in such an enormous way?
Well, it's what the demand is. It's what you can sell it for. What is the market value that determines whether or not
it's arbitrary, in my opinion. It's so arbitrary. Even though none of us can truly say why this pearl should be as valuable at as high as it is, other than it's rare. And some rich person, like you said, Jay, would pay a lot for it.
That's right.
And he goes and gets himself arrested. I want to sell the pearl for the highest price. The money won't change my life. It will change my destiny. Yeah,
It already changed your life.
Right. It changed your life because you were an idiot. Yeah, let me just get 16,000 pieces of meth, and then we can start changing my family's destiny to a bad place. A few days later, a wealthy businessman from another province heard about the pearl and offered to buy the pearl for just 25,000, but the family refused because that won't even buy him 10,000 pieces of meth. Am I right? Level up.
Yeah.
Another persistent luxury items collector dealer increased the offer to 122,000 pounds, which they then refused that. He refused that. This is standing on principle.
All right.
A third buyer, this time from China, so you know it was legit, negotiated with the family to take the pearl for 10 million, which is a baht, which is 250,000 pounds. And then they said they fly there and pick it up and pay for it at that point. Well, nothing should get in the way. That's when this guy decided to throw his meth party. Jesus. He had just set again. Look, I love that the guy who is 35 and has 2 kids was acting like
he's 18 and in the movie Risky Business.
Like
Tom Cruise.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All I have to do is not get involved with this hooker while my family is out of town. Have my interview with Princeton. Make sure our furniture doesn't get stolen and I have to buy it all back.
Make sure my dad's Porsche doesn't go into Lake Michigan.
Make sure there's not a crack in my mom's favorite egg, which is valuable, but we don't understand why it's valuable. As long as I do that, everything's going to be fine. That's all he had to do was wait for the Chinese businessman to come and get it.
Sometimes you just got to say, what the hell?
Sometimes you just got to say, what the fuck? Let's throw a meth party. Why can't people get out of
Princeton can use a guy like Joel.
I'll never know the answer to the question. I'll know the answer to the question why people can't get out of their own way probably before I'll know the answer to the question, why is this really valuable?
Yeah.
And that is it.
There you go.
Why is it more valuable than a swimming pool? That is the show, guys. Stay connected, stay protected, don't get infected.
This is not a hoax.
But we've got the Jakes. See you tomorrow.
La-ti-da, la-ti-da-ti-da-ti-da, la-ti-da-da.